Hi, I'm Adam. It's a great day to be in the US of A, and today I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina with my big brother Seth, but you could probably tell that by the resemblance.
What resemblance?
Oh. Hey, didn't we have a curly-haired mailman?
I think so.
Huh. Now, Seth, you're a beer guy, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you've drunk beers from all over the world. You've even traveled internationally.
Yes, I have.
Okay. So where would you say, what nation produces the greatest beers today?
Other than Luxembourg?
Other than Luxembourg.
Okay. The good old US of A.
You're goddamn right.
So, I've checked out a lot of the breweries in Charlotte, and we have a selection of some. We have some Birdsong, Noda, Old Mech, and I want to ask Seth about that. So, Seth, how long have you lived in Charlotte?
I came in 2000, so I've been here 16 years now.
What was the beer scene like in 2000?
The beer scene was Bud Light, Miller Lite, and you got an import of occasionally a Heineken.
So, swill.
Yes.
Okay.
Horrible.
And what have you seen, like, where would you say it is now?
I would say it's probably in the top 10 of, Charlotte is part of the greater North Carolina, but North Carolina is probably in the top 10, easily top 10 states in the whole country now. And it's been in the last 10 years.
And Charlotte's become particularly a great beer city in that sense. Like, how many breweries would you say, if you were to estimate, are in the city now?
There's 27. I just actually looked that up last week.
27. It's pretty awesome. So, like I said, we have some, and this obviously doesn't touch, the amount of breweries you have, but, so we have Birdsong, we've got Noda, we've got Old Mech, we've got Sycamore Brewing, and these are all pretty close in the city?
Every single one of these are within 5 miles of the house.
That's
of my house. So.
That's all, and you live in the Charlotte city proper?
Yes, I live right in the middle.
Okay, well, let's say we crack one of these open and try it, and...
Alright, how about the Coco Loco?
Coco Loco. Porter, by Noda Brewing Company. And Noda, like you said, is a few miles away?
Yes.
Okay, well, how about you pour half there, pour half here?
Yeah.
So we'll take a drink of this. So when do you think the beer scene really change?
They actually changed huge in 2006, I believe, was when the state of North Carolina changed the ABV rules. And so they went from like 5.9 as high as you could go to almost 15% now.
Wow, all right. And all of a sudden you saw like a bunch of breweries start opening up around you?
And they did. There was one that started it off. That's Old Mecklenburg Brewery. Mm-hmm. That's the first one that started.
That's these two here.
And they had a... they started off and they could only be in a industrial area. And that was where they started. And they never thought that they would ever actually have like a scene where people would actually come to the brewery and have a beer.
Okay.
It was only made for distribution. That was what they thought it would be. Mm-hmm. But now it's changed to the point where they have a probably 30,000 square foot building. Wow. We had about 10,000 of it as being as just a spot for food and drinks. Mm-hmm. And then the outside, they probably have another 20,000 square feet that has tables at it.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful spot.
Now, do you see a lot of variety in the beers in Charlotte? You talked about the ABV going up and things like that, and I'm curious, do you feel like there's a lot of variety in the different breweries?
It's shocking how much difference there are between the breweries. You have everything from Old Mecklenburg, which is just German purity laws, so they only have 4 ingredients, and it's very serious about it, to stuff like the Birdsong, that IPA got jalapeno in it.
Yeah, the jalapeno pale ale is pretty cool.
And so they've got everything under the sun. They're now going more into saisons, and they're going more into different flavors.
Do you see sours much?
The sours are getting big. All of those things are coming in, and people are really taking to it.
Why don't we taste the Noda Coco Loco? And that's one of their famous offerings, right?
Right.
And let's see what we taste. And I'm curious to get your take on it first.
Okay.
What do you think of it?
First, I love porters, so this isn't quite fair. This, though, Noda actually had 2 years ago had the #1 IPA in the United States.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so this is just another one of their great beers that they have. To me, this has got a lot of depth of flavor.
Okay.
It's something that could be very easily adapted to food. I think that this is we down here we smoke a lot of pork butts, and it would be a great pairing just for the different type of smoking that you have, because you have a lot of sweet and bitter, and this is just a much more calming influence to it.
Yeah, it's pretty dry. It doesn't hit you really hard up front, I noticed. You can definitely tell there's like that chocolate element. There is a sweet finish, and I've noticed a lot of coffee in it, sort of coffee, which is sort of standard with porters. And the mouthfeel is thicker than what I think of with porters.
It is. It's definitely it almost comes out as a stout. That would be it's very, very close to a stout. It's got that smooth finish of a stout. It's got all the prerequisites for it, but it's got a porter taste to it, which is kind of nice. Because stouts can, if you get them too high in ABV, start getting a little raisiny. And this definitely has none of that in it.
It doesn't. It's really smooth, very easy to drink, nice and dry. I love it. All right. Last question, Seth. If someone were to come to Charlotte and you were going to recommend 3 breweries to visit that may be close enough to sort of walk or use the train to get to or something like that, what would be 3 breweries you would say this represents a great part of Charlotte?
Wow. It's hard because they're all so good. But I would probably suggest that you go, and if you want to try 3 very different brands, so depending upon your beer taste, of course, you could go from Triple C, and 2 of these are walkable distance, and one's just one train ride up, one station up. Sycamore, and the last one's Wooden Robot. And
I've been to Wooden Robot. I loved it. That was my favorite in the area, but I really haven't been disappointed by any of them.
And they're all very different. Triple C is got they're big, bold flavors. And the Sycamore and Wooden Robot are actually the new trend. When Charlotte first started, like Old Mecklenburg is a big brewery, and Noda is a big brewery, and Birdsong is a big brewery, and so they were all meant for distribution.
Right.
Well, now they're starting to get more into neighborhood bars, where it's meant more for they're doing micro batches, and so they're doing much smaller batches, and so they're doing different things with them, and that's what Wooden Robot and Sycamore are doing.
Oh, I see. So if you really want to represent or understand Charlotte beer, you can't go to a beer store. You have to actually go to the breweries, because many of them don't even try to distribute or can.
Right, exactly. And it's almost set up like I would almost say like an Irish pub style, where it's more of a neighborhood feel. It's more of it's you come in after work and you have a couple of beers, and it's totally different from going to a place that's got liquor in it, and it's a little bit more, it's different music playing, there's different foods being done, stuff of that nature.
Okay, well, thanks a lot, Seth, and I appreciate you being with me on the show today. I know for me, watching Charlotte, it's definitely become a really cool and booming beer town. I would say rivaling or even bettering Asheville and things like that. Wonderful beer towns, and so it's exciting. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions about beer or beers you would like me to review, or if you'd just like to tell me how my brother and I look so similar, put that in the comments below. And as always, if you'd like to be a good American, please subscribe to our channel.
Or else.